Recently, there have been a lot of rumors floating around about the High Republic. We've been wondering what Project Luminous would be about since it was announced back at Star Wars Celebration Chicago, and according to the website Zero.hu, it'll be centered around a new era of Star Wars called the High Republic. Now, normally I don't talk about rumors, and I have never even heard of this website before, but it is interesting to note that the High Republic has been brought up in 2 Star Wars stories so far. Not long after Project Luminous was announced, Cavan Scott included a mention of it in his audio drama Dooku Jedi Lost, and more recently it was mentioned in Charles Soule's comic The Rise of Kylo Ren. Both Soule and Scott are confirmed to be writers contributing to Project Luminous alongside Claudia Gray, Daniel Jose Older, and Justina Ireland. Again, I don't normally cover rumors, but this is pretty compelling, so today I'm going to cover those 2 mentions so we can explain everything we know about the High Republic so far, and then I'll talk about those rumors and what I would like to see out of the High Republic era if all of this turns out to be true. In The Rise of Kylo Ren, Lor San Tekka, Luke Skywalker, and Ben Solo all head to a Jedi outpost far out from the core worlds. Luke admits he never knew the Jedi spread that far out, and Lor replies that the outpost is probably High Republic era. He says it was a time of greatly expanded Jedi activity throughout the galaxy. In Dooku Jedi Lost, young Jedi in training shared stories of a Padawan named Cleus Terradine who discovered the Bogan collection of the Jedi Order during the time of the High Republic. The Bogan collection was a hidden vault full of dark side artifacts. Terradine was said to have been expelled from the Jedi Order for some unknown reason. Between the Bogan collection and the Jedi outpost in the comic, I would guess that the Jedi of this era spent a lot of time exploring the galaxy to find artifacts that they believed would either be valuable or dangerous in the wrong hands, and it makes sense that they would have time to do this because if the rumors are to be believed, there wouldn't be any Sith to worry about. Speaking of the rumors, here are the basics. According to Zero.hu, the High Republic era is 300 to 400 years before the Skywalker saga, so at that time the Sith would have been supposedly wiped out and living in secret for 600 or 700 years. They say the overall plot would involve a group of Jedi setting out to explore the unknown regions, encountering a variety of enemies including some sort of Sith gods. These stories are supposedly separate, but connected. I assume that means they can be understood on their own, but readers will be rewarded for reading every comic and every book. So far, all we've been told is that Project Luminous would be all books, but Zero.hu claims that a video game is also in the works, and to add more onto this, Jason Ward at Making Star Wars is saying that the next films coming out will also be involved with the High Republic. So those are all the rumors. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. Ward says that the books and comics will come out first and then the video game, and then it's all going to culminate in the release of the films starting in 2022. I'm going to remain skeptical about the movie and the video game only because Project Luminous has been described solely as books and comics so far, but if the video game and the movies both turn out to be true as well, I've got to say that this all sounds great. My biggest issue with The Rise of Skywalker, and I guess the sequel trilogy as a whole, is the lack of a plan or just one unifying vision, and I think that's a result of just hitting the ground running right after Disney acquired Star Wars. No time to waste, let's just dive in and hope for the best. We have $4 billion to make back. But this High Republic stuff could be a great chance to change that moving forward. I've compared Star Wars to the MCU before, mostly in that while I think Phase 1 has some great movies, like Iron Man and Avengers specifically, and the rest are fun or fine, I don't think the MCU really hit its stride until Phase 2, when we got movies like The Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy, and even then there are some so-so movies mixed in. My point is, I think Lucasfilm has been working on this High Republic stuff for a long time. I think this could be game-changing for Star Wars. Another problem with the Skywalker saga outside the lack of a plan is just the emotional baggage everyone has with characters that have existed for over 40 years. You're never going to please everyone when it comes to those legacy characters. But new characters in a new era that's never been explored by Star Wars even in the Legends days, I mean, that's something that all Star Wars fans are going to experience for the first time together. And the era itself is really interesting. Like I said, the Sith can't be the main antagonists because they're supposed to be living in secret. The Jedi can't know about them. Although I do think it would be interesting to see a story from the Sith's point of view. Maybe we get to follow the two members of the Rule of Two during this time and they have to play a cat and mouse style game with the Jedi and like, oops, one of them saw us and now we have to go silence them. I think that could make for some really exciting storytelling, but even that's new. And I think that this era is going to force Star Wars to kind of explore new ideas outside of just your classic Jedi versus Sith. On top of that, if we're going into the unknown regions, that provides countless opportunities to explore something new, and that excites me more than anything. While I happen to love The Force Awakens, I totally understand the criticism that it's a rehash of A New Hope. Even Rogue One and Solo are still very much connected to the familiar. Most of the books and comics that have been coming out don't venture too far outside of the Skywalker saga. I want some new characters to fall in love with, some new locations to visit. All of this sounds like it can be brand new for all of us. I will say that's one thing I'm a little nervous about. I don't want a middle-aged Yoda to be the protagonist of this story. I don't really need to see Yaddle or Maz Kanata. I'm sure there are going to be cameos here and there, and that's fine, but I would be much more interested in learning about a character like Terradine. Why was he expelled from the Order? I mean, I'm already invested in that story of this character that had one random name drop, and even he might not play into the story at all. I was already excited about the idea that the books and the comics would get a chance to tell their own big stories that aren't just providing support for the films that are coming out, but the idea that Project Luminous could be even bigger than we were initially led to believe is awesome. We've been told that we were going to hear about the 2022 film and get some official Project Luminous news early on in the year. If they dump some huge master plan on us about all of these books and comics and a video game and maybe a TV show, who knows, but it's all going to culminate in the 2022 film and we're going to spend these next 3 years getting hyped for the High Republic era, that sounds amazing. Hopefully we won't have to wait too much longer to learn more. What do you guys think of the idea of the High Republic era, and what do you hope to see if these rumors turn out to be true? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.